Village of Armada regular council meeting will now come to order. Will everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Woollett.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Cooper. Here. Elkie. Here.
Approval of the agenda. What's the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'd like to add, under new business C, report of the committee for the West Main Street engineering.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
At this time, the floor is opened up to the citizen comments. Citizen have any comments at this time to non-agenda items? Yes, Jeff.
Thank you. Mr. President, honorable council members, I'm Jeff Yark, I'm state representative for including Armada. I want to thank you for opening up your hall a half hour early before the meeting to allow some visiting hours with constituents if they came in and wanted to talk about issues. I want to make myself available. This is also an opportunity to report back to local government what I've been up to on issues that affect local government. So just a few things, if I might be able to tell you, revenue sharing is going to go up October 1st. This is a big priority of mine, is to increase revenue sharing, because again, local government is where I think most of the services citizens receive, and we have a duty to support that. Also, road funding is definitely going to be up. Again, you're a road agency. We're trying to move away from more bureaucracy, get more road to actual pavement. Fireworks, I co-sponsored a number of bills regarding trying to get more local control to local government so they can make decisions regarding fireworks. There's some 33 days in the year that's state regulated, and outside that, local government can make it completely illegal if they so choose, but I want to introduce more local government control and make this a decision of locals. Marijuana, I have a resolution encouraging the federal government to make a decision. My resolution is not for or against marijuana, merely that I understand can come from local government. The trick bag local government is in it, because to follow state law means you're violating federal law. So I'm trying to push that after 9 years, our state, by a vote of the people, voted for this, trying to get our federal government to make a decision. Either send the DA and enforce the federal law, or grant waivers to states that have decided they want to regulate in some other way. But we as legislators and all of you as local government officials need that decision so we can make decisions. When I was here last, Trustee Cooper brought up a concern regarding salvage title issues and how that's funded with the police department, and the police chief contacted me after the meeting. I do have a bill that I'll be introducing when we get back to session regarding salvage title and helping Armada with that issue that they're experiencing. Just a little tidbit, I know a lot of people are hearing about Lieutenant Calley's bringing up a part-time legislature. Just for conversation piece, having come from local government and local government for years have been told you need to be more efficient, and that and I think local government did that for a lot of years and continues to try to work together for more efficiency. I have a resolution for a unicameral legislature with a single house like Nebraska. Before I got there as a local elected official, it was my impression that 2 houses, we weren't getting better legislation. I'm not talking about Congress. Congress has 2 houses to balance big and little states. And our legislature, it doesn't have that purpose. There's no checks and balances to it, and it costs $50 million per year extra to have a second chamber. Wow. It costs $50 million for the Senate. It costs $69 million for the House. Wow. And from being there 8 months and having previously watched this before as a local official, I don't think we're actually getting a lot of value for that additional $50 million. No discounting our senators, but I mean, a lot of the reasons that has been suggested, I think we can, again, limit government. And as I said, if the state's going to tell local government you need to be more efficient, the state should probably start with at the state level. So if anyone want to chat about that, I'm available. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for showing up. Well, council, have any questions of Jeff?
Thank you so much for doing the salvage title.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Anyone else at this time? Yes, ma'am. State your name for the record, please.
Oh, it's Bonnie Simpson, and I'm a resident of the community here, and I've been hearing rumors that property has been sold over on Borough Street, and that a multi-family dwelling is going to go in over there. Can somebody shine some information to us about that?
We haven't heard anything. I mean, not in the office.
So what does that mean that you haven't
That means
heard?
that nobody's turned in it. I don't think anything's been turned to
Nothing's
planning.
come to the
has it?
planning
Planning,
commission.
yeah.
So I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
we
no, I'm
haven't,
just trying to
we
understand
haven't
what you're
received
saying.
anything, Bonnie.
Okay, if that happens, can you explain what the protocol is for a multi-family dwelling being put into a single-family area?
Well,
It really just depends on the zoning. The zoning or properties in a district, a zoning district, and that's called a permitted use. So if this district is zoned for multifamily, that's a permitted use and they would be authorized. If it's not, they'll have to seek some type of, first it would be a rezoning request. They would have to apply to the planning commission. The planning commission makes a recommendation to the council. I'm not familiar with this parcel, so I'm not making any representation
Yeah.
with the district in.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, as with many communities, we have our zoning districts. If it's permitted use, they're allowed to develop. If they're not, they'll have to seek some amendment to allow that type of development to go in.
And what does that amendment entail?
It's a zoning map amendment, so there's a public hearing process. Typically, residents within 300 feet around the property are notified, and it's also published in the paper, and so we do our best to get the word out to the public, and then the public hearing is held. We can't deny a person a right to seek the rezoning. Just, I want to make sure everybody understands that's their right as property owners, assuming what you're saying is true, that title is transferred. So.
So what does that do as far as the residents go? You're saying that I don't know what the other people are feeling. I'm just saying what I'm saying,
Right.
and then I don't want to deny it, but I would just like to have some more information to how many units are going in.
we would
don't
have to
know,
have that
honestly.
unit, you know.
Well, where does that, how do people
They would-
find that out?
Well, they'll have to come in, again, if it's a permitted use, they would submit some type of site plan to the city saying, we're gonna develop here, and that's reviewed to make sure the zoning's correct. If they don't have the proper zoning, they would have to come to the planning commission and file a petition to rezone the property.
Are we allowed to go to that, or is that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And you'll be notified about it too, if you live, like
Within
Jeff said, within
Yeah,
300
just live
feet,
across the
you'll
street.
receive a
Okay.
letter.
Permitted then.
Okay,
Yeah.
pardon me?
If it's a permitted use, they won't.
Right, but if
So
it's
you have to
gonna be
maybe
rezoned.
come in and contact Ben DeLucky, he'd be able to go over the code and the ordinances over in that area, because I'm not sure if that's just residential.
I'm sure it's our one.
Right, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is a permitted use in.
That's R1 back there.
Right, but is that a permitted
That's
use in
single
R1?
family.
That's
It's a single family.
That's like,
Right.
you know.
So if
Okay.
they multifamily, it just would
It's,
depend on what's allowed in the district.
Right.
But again, I hate to speculate on camera because I just, I don't know anything about, you know, who's purchased it, what their plans
No,
are.
me either. I just wanted to know if someone could share some information
Sure.
with us, you know, because
So
we're
keep-
concerned about getting
Are
it
you
in
within
there.
300 feet?
Yes, I'm right
Across
across the street. from it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're likely to, you know, be notified if they indeed go that route.
and that may not be in the future or the near future. Or in the
Depends
future.
on-
They may come in tomorrow, we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know, we
Okay.
hate to say we know as much as you do.
Actually, you guys seem to know a whole lot more.
Yeah, right, right.
Well, maybe that's good, you know, so we can find out, you know.
I will say this, and again, I'm not saying this is gospel by any means, but typically developers are smart enough that if they know they need a rezoning, they won't close on a property until they know they can develop it. So I'm not saying to give you comfort, but typically a developer who knows they need rezoning will come in and make sure it's, in other words, their deal with the seller is contingent upon getting the, you know, otherwise why buy the property if you can't do your project? You know what I mean?
So the contingencies could have been between the seller and the buyer?
I don't know.
Oh,
That doesn't
All I'm
matter.
saying
Okay.
is, your first statement was that the property has sold. I'm
That's-
not so sure of that
Okay, all
until,
right, uh-huh.
because like I said, there's not too many developers that I know that roll the dice and take a chance that they can't do a project.
And I
they
don't
wanna
have a
make sure-
transfer affidavit in the office, so it hasn't come into us that it is sold.
Okay, okay, well, thank you.
We'll, you know, like I said, you can definitely call in. Michelle or Becky can let you know periodically if anything's come in, or Joe on the property transfer affidavit.
All right, thank you.
It's probably gonna take longer than just in a week or two or something like that anyhow. Because they have to, it's a lengthy process sometimes. It's not what we like when we're buyers or sellers.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else at this time? If not, we'll move on. There's no presentations tonight. Administrative reports, building reports, I believe you have that in your packet. Commissioner liaison reports.
I'll give a report on the sewer department. Chris can't make it here tonight, he has family obligation. I passed out the booklets, just a couple of quick highlights I'll go over. They had some call-outs for alarms that was the gas monitor in the grit room. And if you read also on the first page that they're going to come out there and recalibrate. They think it's a matter of just recalibrating those so the alarm won't be going off. I talked to Chris also the other day. He said things went well with the fair. Nothing changed down there. Everything's fine. I got here, Pardon Tree Service was scheduled to perform soon. Well, that happened today. They were down there. They're not done yet. Okay. I'm going to make a point of going down there tomorrow and walk with Chris, and we'll make sure everything's accessible to get down to that one pipe that the EQ wants us to clean out. One other quick thing, let's see. As required action for our compliance evaluation inspection letter from Dennis Ryan of the MDEQ, we have submitted the corrective action plan for the sludge transfer pump and are waiting for approval to move forward in this required action. I'll be getting with Chris, and we talked about maybe purchasing that portable pump because it made no sense to make any repairs on that pump that's down there in the old building. Right. It's as old as the plant, and that building's going to be demolished, so it made no sense. So hopefully I'll have something by maybe the second meeting, and we can purchase the transfer pump. So, and that's about all I got.
Anyone else at this time?
I have a parks report.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say that the season finished on August 9th with the Soggy Bottom Folks and the AVA's Eats in the Park event, which is always a huge success. We had a total of 9 concerts booked with 1 rain out, so we had 8 weeks of music in the park this summer. The pavilion was rented 1 time for a special event during the summer, which is always available. Phil Kent did a great job of keeping the park nice for us during the season, and I'm sure he'll continue on until the weather turns. The banners are coming down this week, but here's a list of the final sponsors. I just want to read them off because they make the program possible. We had Ackett's, Advantage Living Center, Armada Fair, Armada Health Mart, Carl Ballard and Sons, Chaps, Consumers Energy, Delecki Welding, Duncan Insurance, Family First Armada, Brunwald Family Dentistry, KO Studios, Kraus Veterinary Clinic, Lakestone Bank and Trust, Larry's Automotive, Lick's Ice Cream Shop, Main Street Chiropractic, Mobile Express, Papa's Family Restaurant, Row Professional Services, Rust and Relics, the new store in town, a South End Car Wash, the Vinkners, and Yowie Enterprises. Those are all the banners and all the signs that have been up for the season. The pump house is my next focus, and it needs a new door and a new door assembly, and it's kind of off its hinges a bit. And some attention to the windows, so I'm going to see if I can get something done for the snow flies on that, and then when we're done, that's it.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, you did an awesome
It was
job.
awesome.
Good job.
Good season.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's fun.
Do you get any questions about the playground equipment?
Never.
Because I have.
Have you?
Yep, that they would like to,
because I think when people go to the concerts, and I think you've had an increase in attendance. There's a lot of kids playing there, and it's really pretty old-looking equipment. I think the slide was one that was at the school.
It
when I
was. We
there.
all went on it.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's a great slide.
That makes it pretty old. But
They're expensive, Dave.
I just want to, I know, I think they're like $40,000-$50,000
Yes, they are.
to put it in and all
And we
that.
can't use CDBG for it. There's
If we
like,
could
it's
do
hard to get.
some kind of
Are there any
fundraising
grants?
thing.
Grants for playground equipment?
Offhand, I can't give you an answer, but you need to make it.
Okay, no, I mean, if there's anything, make
I have gone
like
through
ADA or something, you know?
I have gone to the township officials and asked them if they would contribute towards it, seeing how the village of Armada pays significant taxes into the township, and they do nothing inside this town. They did tell me they provided the service of assessing. That's what they do for us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just said that I think a lot of our citizens really don't think that's such a great deal, but they did, it seemed like that fell on deaf ears to try to get them to
Chip in.
chip in
It's
anything
so
for this
expensive.
community that pays taxes and pays their salaries.
Right.
But if we could get some kind of fundraiser going or something, I know it's an ordeal, but
They did the skate park,
yeah.
so I mean, it takes a
Yeah,
long
those boys
time.
that did the skate park, I think, are done fundraising. I think they're exhausted.
But I'm just saying, it can't
It's
be
been a
done.
long process.
I'm saying,
for
yeah,
them.
I'm saying
Yeah.
it might be a long process,
Right.
but maybe over 5 years, we might be able to do it.
Sure.
If you got some interest from the community.
There again, the township put in a big chunk of change.
Yeah, they did, and they gave the property, yeah,
Yeah, they got their best from the township and from the UAW.
yeah.
And they don't live there, don't live near it. The skateboards you can hear terrifically. So, I'd like to thank the township for putting it in for all the noise nuisance. Anyone else? Consent agenda. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes of August the 7th. Payment of bills and the special event permit application, which was the Armada County. What is
President,
council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Tell Carolyn she can breathe now. I know that she's not home, so.
Well, something for the community, you know, that's what we're for. Next is old business, and we have none. The new business is resignations from the ZBA. So, this next agenda item is to accept the resignations from the ZBA. Before we take action, I would like to let everyone know that the village has received a number of applications from residents interested in being appointed to the ZBA. It is my recommendation that the village council review these applications and allow each candidate to be interviewed by a member of the ZBA who will report back to the council, or so we are satisfied with the filling of these vacancies with the best applicant available. I anticipate this process will take approximately 30 days, and I will be following the same process for the appointment to the planning commission. Unless anyone has any questions, I entertain a motion to accept the resignations with regret.
Mr. President, I resolve to accept the resignation of Thomas Betts from the Zoning Board of Appeals effective August 10th, 2017 with regret.
Thank you for that.
Support. It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Stella Pitleski to the Zoning Board of Appeals effective immediately.
With regret.
Oh, with regret, sorry.
I didn't put it in.
With regret.
It has been moved
Did you say support?
Support.
Support. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next.
So someone's gonna be reaching out to these individuals that are interested?
Yes.
Okay.
They are via meeting. I have asked, a member of the Planning Commission and also one of the ZBA. I will not be doing it myself. With their recommendation comes to me, I will recommend that.
When I was on planning, I had two people call me when I was interested in planning. Ben DeLucky called, or no, it was Chris Lentz called me, and then Nancy Parmenter called me. Asked me a bunch of questions about my prior experience.
Okay,
so,
we'll just have them come in for a few brief
right.
questions. It isn't going to be no
Know what they're
hour
getting into.
or two, anything like that, so
Right.
it'd be very brief and so.
Okay.
So Mr. Conan has agreed, and also Joe Adair has also agreed for the committee as two on that committee numbers.
Okay.
So it doesn't constitute a meeting
No.
by having just the two members. Yeah, right. A Romeo to Richmond half marathon that they are running, I forget the date on it.
September 17th.
Okay, 17.
This is just to go across Fulton, like
Fulton
they do
Street,
every
yeah.
year. They may need some police help, Mike's already aware of it.
But it's into the sheriff.
They do, but sometimes they call us in for assistance. But we've done it the last 3 or 4 years. And it's just to get them across Fulton. It's not.
Well, that's our jurisdiction, so
Right.
we'll handle that ourselves. The other outside sheriff can handle that, whatever the other crossroads are, so.
Yeah.
I make a motion to allow the Romeo to Richmond half marathon to cross Fulton Street on September 17th, 2017.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time now, we will have the report from Mr. Ballard if he wants his committee as such on the engineering of West Main Street, which will be coming in 2018.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, our committee that consisted of Steve Clark, Mike Shaw, and myself. We reviewed the submissions by the 3 applicants. The 3 applicants were Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick, Spalding, DeDecker, and Rowe. Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick gave us 2 qualification statements. One was for design engineering, and the other was for construction engineering. Spalding, DeDecker did the same, and Rowe Engineering was just interested in our design engineering. So that being said, the committee met again tonight, and we decided that we were going to go with Spalding, DeDecker for our construction engineering and Rowe Engineering for our design engineering. All 3 are absolutely terrific companies. I personally have worked with all of them in my line of work, and knowing that these engineering firms can handle it. I know Rowe has been doing some of our work for years, and that's why our committee said we'll go with Rowe for the design engineering or for the preliminary engineering or the drawings, and Spalding DeDecker for the construction engineering. I would like to make a motion that the council accept the recommendation of the committee.
What is council's wishes?
Do we need discussion or no?
Well, we got a
I
second.
just have one question. Louds, your motion to just accept the recommendation or actually award the bid?
Well, no, we're not going to award the bid.
Okay.
What we have to do is then we have to appoint two people to go in and negotiate with these two people to get the price.
Okay, I didn't want to, it wasn't quite clear whether,
I think at this point, I mean, we discussed this, right? It's just qualifying bids,
It's a
not,
qualifying bid, correct.
right?
all right.
So do we want to say to accept the recommendation of the committee to accept the
Qualifications
we don't want
of-
that in there, or just to allow
I
them
mean,
to
do we need
interview?
to do this for the state?
I do not know.
Yes,
I-
the DEQ, we have to have something in our minutes that states that we... MDOT, yeah, I'm sorry, well, it's the state. That states that we have reviewed them, and we brought it back to council, and the council will accept our recommendation of these
Okay,
two.
I would just add then, do you have someone in mind who's going to go and make that next step, Lyle?
Well, this is what, that'll be the next one that I'm gonna put on that Marvin and I
I mean, you
negotiate.
could just add it and say to your motion and authorize.
Okay.
The street administrator,
And
president.
the president, too. Yes, okay, that's what we'll do.
Okay, so give me your motion again, please.
Okay, that the council accept the recommendation of the committee and accept Rowe Engineering for the preliminary engineering
Hold on. For preliminary, okay.
and Spalding D. Decker for the construction engineering.
For construction engineering.
Construction engineering.
Okay.
And allow
Authorize the street.
and authorize the street administrator and president to negotiate prices on behalf of the village.
And those will come back, right, Lyle?
Oh, yeah.
Prices
Yeah.
on behalf. Okay.
Okay, is there a second to Mr. Ballard's,
I'll support.
okay, by Mr. Clark? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait a minute, I should ask, any further discussion?
So all I can say is we based our decisions on their past practices, especially Spalding Decker. I'm familiar with that Hamlet Road project, which was over $5 million, and they did a really nice job. So we expect the same.
Okay. So, well, and then I know years and years ago, we did have Anderson and Eckstein and Westry as our engineers. So.
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Well, I guess maybe I'm one of the oldest guys around that remembers. But yes, and they've done fine work in other communities as well, and neighboring communities too. So, like I said, I think we have three good choices, Mr. Ballard.
Thank you.
Okay, no further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Up and coming agenda items.
We have, the auditors are coming, right, next meeting?
That'll be at our September 11th meeting. Anything else? At this time, also, the floor is open back up for citizen comments. State your name for the record. 3 minutes limit. No comments? Council comments?
First day of school, September 5th, it's a half day for everyone, so they know. And our you'll see buses starting to pull around.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to thank Steve and Mike for their assistance in the selection process. I think we did it.
Very good. I think you guys did a good, tremendous job in a short time. You know that we've had this too, so, and as long as the money comes our way, but Mr. Yarch.
We'll be doing this license.
I heard road funding coming our way.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Is there any kind of amounts that you could drop on us? Or?
40 million? that'd be
Short
good.
answer, no.
I mean, overall, it's the goal again to, it previously done, registration fees went up, and the gas tax did go up. This was prior to me getting Lansing, but all that money is coming down, and I'm committed to making sure that the general fund commitment that was made, part of that, would still continue. So you get the continued increase over the next, few years.
I want some help with local streets
Yeah, because we got local streets too that
that we can't.
we darely need.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
whole quadrant sitting around you would say absolutely.
Couldn't there.
Remember, with an asset, if you have an asset management plan, you can move major street money into local, if you have an approved asset management plan.
No? There you go.
We are working on it.
Yeah, yep,
we'll continue to work on that because
yeah, that'd be
we
great.
all like to have our streets nice, so there's so many of these little small streets that have been terrible. There's been nothing done on them that I can recall in 60 years or better.
Exactly.
That's true.
So that's not stretching it, that's the truth. So this council is bound and willing to go, reach out. And if we can get any kind of grants or anything else, this is what we would like to do. So, and accept. All right. Community events. Is there any community events you want to announce?
Armada again, when, what's the date?
October 7th.
There you go.
7th?
7th, yeah,
First
October
Saturday in
7th,
October.
yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so we'll have one more meeting before October 7th.
Couple, 2.
All right, there's no closed sessions tonight, and at this time, it's fitting and proper for an adjournment to hear.
Time is 7:31. I make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
And moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.